this story of crossing from FDC to NRM, a very big story. Yet you have a story of a young girl being raped. And you're all, ma'am. As for me, Sarah Dong, I will not keep quiet. As long as I'm still alive, I'll use my mouth to talk. Because if we don't talk about these issues, who is going to talk about them? Even we need to create a safe space for our daughters. Because if your daughters are not safe, even your sons are not going to be safe. When I was at Makerere University, my hall of residence is, of course, the mighty Mary Stewart. I'm a boxer. For those who went to Makerere knows. And our motto was simple. A girl trained, a nation trained. When you train a girl, you train the nation. Because she's going to take care of the husband, she's going to take... But if the barriers are too much, you're talking about inadequate legal aid to help. Now, you're supposed to have the legal aid system where we don't even have. Can we have a forum where we train our traditional leaders on the basic legal system? Basic. Today it's worse. When you talk about corruption in the courts, corruption at the police stations, my friend. I also worked with a civil society organization in my district in Zombo. So I can tell you that you go and report a case to a police station, for you to ascertain to get that form, PF, is it a PF form? If you're not careful, yes, PFA form. If you're not careful, you ask some money. There's a lot going on. You've gone to report a case of gender-based violence. Your husband has beaten you, your head is swollen like this. They tell you, you can sit down and solve that issue with your husband. Patriarchy, culture, male dominance generally. So we are saying, let us have adequate legal aid system so that to help us to balance where we have a failures in the systematic justice system, where things have really failed. Because these women really have to do. I am addressing this because this is the Women's Day celebration. You don't want to hear people just going to lament and tell you, this is well. This is not well. There's nothing well at all. Talk to many of the women in the country today. For me as Sarah, I think I've even given up going to court. Because I am going to go to court. The court is already influenced. By the time you're going to go to court, the decisions have already been made. Pre-made decisions, predetermined decisions. And they say justice delayed is justice denied. And then they're telling you, okay, we have adjourned the court case to the other week, to the other month, like that. Until it's just like that. So there's still a lot to do in Uganda. Another issue we want to talk about as we talk about the commemoration of the International Women's Day, as Ugandans, people, ladies and gentlemen, the education sector of this country has become the commercial arm of government. And these are also some of the issues which are very critical in our government. The pillar of any country is in the education sector. If the education sector is dead, then the country is doomed. Tell me which country in the world that has grown without education. Those people who are manufacturing the missiles you're seeing today, they're throwing left, right, center in the Middle East. They went to school, they studied sciences. So for us, the education sector has become the commercial arm of government. And now do we say that? The unnecessary increase in school fees by the private schools and private institutions. While most of the public schools, especially primary and secondary, are in a sorry state. The other time, for you who attended a press conference here, I told you a story of the children around the river Nyamwamba in Kasese, who I think up to now, most of them have not yet reported back to school. As I was coming to the press conference, I was talking to one of the leaders in civil society, and the report they have is that almost 40% of children did not start school in the first week of the academic calendar. Why? Because the education system has become so expensive. The government is not bothered. All the government is caring about is milking resources and milking money from the citizens. So if a young girl in Zombo, Nakaseke, Mukono, where Karamoja cannot go to school, then we should shut down the schools and everybody doesn't go to school. Most of the schools are now for the privilege. Talk about the bursaries. Most of the bursaries are for children from the rich schools. Imagine today you're talking about the Speaker of Uganda. If she was not given an access, a chance to go to school, would we talking about her? So I think also as a speaker, she's sitting in that parliament. She should also be thinking about this. And this is a call to the elected members of parliament. Gentlemen and ladies, please kindly help us amplify our voices, especially the Uganda Women Parliamentary Association, UWAPA. This is our role. We are mothers of the nation. Can we amplify the voices of Ugandans? Ugandans are dying silently. How do you pay school fees for a child who is in nursery? Around 2.5 million shillings? Guys, is this normal? Is Uganda so special? Are we teaching these children to make missiles that is going to fight the Middle East? Huh? At that tender age. On top of that, children are leaving their homes at 5 a.m. What are they going to do? So things are not normal, guys. Uganda is upside down. And for me, I'm making a call to the Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. You are our Minister of Education and Sports. You are also the mother of this nation. Please, we call upon you to think about the future of this country. The education sector is left for those who are rich. The underprivileged, doom. You have no money, your children don't go to school. The UPE schools, you had the other time, schools are complaining. The schools have also decided to hike the fees they normally charge in the UPE schools. So I was told, I was speaking to one of the headmasters from my school, from one of the schools in Atiak Seed School in Zombo District, and the tuition, I think the school fees is around 300,000 shillings per term. But even raising 300,000 shillings for a common person in Zombo, in Atiak sub-county in Zombo, is hard. So what have they devised? They've devised the methods means that you take your cassava, you take your Irish potatoes, your maize. I don't know whether it is also done the same in Moyo. So now that is what parents do in the up country. They tell you, okay, bring your cassava, bring your maize, bring your coffee mwanyi, and then we equate it to 300,000 and your child studies. Now, imagine for parents who don't have land to cultivate their crops, do those children go to school? Definitely the answer is no. And these are some of the uncovered stories, the untold stories that we are not covering. I am appealing to you, members of the press. Please, for us, let us first leave the men who are fighting for space. Let us go and dig out some of these untold stories. Otherwise, you'll wake up in the morning 10 years from now, where this country is for the haves and the have-nots will have to look for where to go. And where will they go to? You can't go to Kenya. You can't go to South Sudan. You can't run away. You're going to end up to be a slave in your own country because you cannot afford the cost of living. You're going to end up having these beggars in the streets. You're going to end up having the Matembe in the streets. Today, the challenges that we have in Kampala, and this is something that I want to make a rejoinder with this. The challenges we are facing in the streets of Kampala, that you're having those mothers. By the way, I feel so bad. Most of those women who sell avocados and mangoes come from my district. Every time we pass, can we lira mango, can we shell moko, can we shell moko, yati para someone need that you buy one, how will my child study? You know, you hear them speaking Alur, no language, and you feel so perturbed. I feel so angry. I have stopped moving in the streets of Kampala, gentlemen and ladies, because of that. Because I see these women struggling. It is all because we have not created a safe space for them to study. Perhaps if they had gone to school, they would not be in that street. But we are saying we are chasing them away from the street. Yes, we are chasing them away. And you're taking them back to the villages. Okay, they're going to the villages and do what? And become thieves also? So, whereas we want an organized city, we are chasing those women away and the men, but let us also look at the root cause. Let us not only address the symptoms, but let us also address the causes of the disease, which is the poverty as a result of the poor education system, which has left so many people uneducated. And in the end, Kampala is the only way for them to come to. You understand? So when you talk about the education system, they